So, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am joined for the second time. I've had the pleasure of sitting next to... What do you like being introduced as these days? Is it your name, is it your business, or is it...
I'm Carl, Mr. Carl Wilson Dennis, a.k.a. Mr. JOBSA GOODEN.
So where does CW Diz come from?
CW Diz was, I don't know, like Diz was like my sort of road name, sort of thing. And CWD was my initials. So I just, you know, when you first start your social media, you have a name, you just make it up, whatever it is, you don't know where it's going to go.
And you stuck with it?
And then, just stuck with it, really. So
when I was not a businessman, when I was sort of trying to be playing football, my nickname was Sully, So everyone called me Sully. And then when I started Rygas, then everyone started calling me Rygas. Then I changed the name to Rye. Then everyone called me Rye. And nowadays, I'm known probably more as Ryo Sully,
So is that what you're going with then?
I just, it sort of just happened.
You don't know what to do,
It sort of just happened. So, like, with me, I call you JOBSA GOODEN.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So when I tell people that I'm meeting JOBSA GOODEN.
Most people know me, even when people stop me in the street, hey, JOBSA GOODEN. So, you know, it is what it is, man. Whatever. One of the names is fine. People call, the thing is, like, my friends will call me Diz. People that see me from social will call me C Diz or something else. And people that know me from the plumbing will call me JOBSA GOODEN. So either or, it don't really matter, to be fair.
I think I'm going to start calling you Diz, man. I think it's got a ring to it. So today, you've been to North London.
Yeah.
What did you go there for?
I got a contractor that I do work in like an old people's home. So normally they'll have about 5-6 jobs, and then they'll call me. I think I've done a tap change. There's a leaking radiator, just need tightening. A cartridge change. Another tap, and a radiator that wasn't heating up. That was it.
My nan was in a old people's home in Sutton, right? Recently, let's say recently, she passed away about a year ago, or not even that, 6 months ago. And when I'd go in there, it'd be quite hard.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So I'd be, not even just because of my nan, but I think seeing the people, right?
It's in general. It's funny you say that because I sort of was like, I was in there earlier, so I got a bit of a sore throat in a minute. I was in there earlier. And I was walking around and I was just like, and I don't want to seem like I'm putting it down or anything, but I'll be there like at some point.
Where do we end
look
up?
at it and you think, wow, is this what it comes to?
That's what I'm saying.
But then also, like, you know, like we've had the conversation about spirituality and things, and you know, this enjoying your life. And when I see things like that, it does make me think, you know what, like, you've got to enjoy it, man. You got to enjoy it. You got to have fun, to be fair. So
my nan, though, she was still having banter and all sorts in there.
Yeah,
so it doesn't matter what age you are.
Yeah,
like,
that's
you know
what you're
I mean?
about. That's what you're about, for sure. Definitely.
It still goes on. And my dad, actually, he's not a spring chicken anymore, and he's getting older and older and older. And he goes to like some day club sort of thing.
Yeah.
And he comes back and he's like, oh, this person's done this, that, and the other. And he's disabled and he's on a mobility scooter.
Yeah.
But he's nosy, so like he goes to this club. Let's say it's like a function room, and then there's rooms. Yeah. And he went up to like a room the other day just to have a look, see what it was like. Probably because he's thinking I might move in here. You know what I mean? And this geezer told him to get out of the room because it's just fucking no matter what age.
If you are in it. You act how you act. So that's what it is.
Yeah, man. So how's Tricks been since we last met?
Yeah, good. You know, just continuing to grow. The thing is, I do everything myself, which at some point I know I need to try and, because I do my editing, obviously I go out and work, I do my invoices, I do everything. So I'm sort of figuring out business more as well. So I'm sort of trying to see where I go with everything, really. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like with the social, I've got the platform there. I can do the work. So I'm sort of trying to figure out how...
Do you get a lot of work from your social media?
I do get quite a bit, but also as well, because I don't really have the time to go through my DMs, for example. Like, I might not look in there for 2 days. Not because I don't want to. I want to try and get through my messages, but when I'm going work and I get home and then I've got to do an invoice, by that time I want to go to bed. Do you know what I mean? So,
and the minute you do probably start reading a message, you engage with someone.
And then you're going back and forth. So I do get messages through there, but sometimes, like I said, I miss them. So I've just created a link to be able to get directly through to me, sort of thing.
I mean, it's great that you answered your phone earlier as hello, Cole speaking. That's good, man.
It's no, you know what? It's as I'm trying to, as I am becoming more professional. These are little things that I think you need to add into, you know.
I remember like telling my office to do that. Instead of saying hello, you're like, hello, right gas, or hello, right group. You have to.
Yeah.
It's really important, man. So questions, right? We spoke about City Plumbing. Yeah, recently. And obviously myself and you have both done work with them. They done a question and an answer thing where I hosted it with people coming in to the merchant.
Okay.
It's actually quite weird because some people, like, I was just like, bang, here's a mic, yeah. And other people, some people would take
engaged,
it.
some people just, not involved. Yeah.
And I'd go back to some of them because I knew they kind of wanted to speak but didn't. But if we can go with that first question, I know me and you touched on it the other day.
Yeah.
Apprenticeships, right? There's two things. I'm going to quickly say one thing, but you've moved house, right?
Yeah.
How's the move? Good?
Yeah, good, yeah.
Settled?
Good. Yeah, happy, yeah.
So your boy now is an apprentice.
Sort of, yeah. Well, he's kind of just annoying me, to be honest. No, I'm you know what? He's at college 3 days a week.
Doing plumbing?
Nah. So he's been at college, he DJs.
Oh, yeah.
So he's been at a music college learning production and stuff like that.
Wow.
He's come to the end of the 3 years, but he's there 3 days a week. So the other 2 days, now I've got to a stage where I've got sort of constant work sort of thing. I can bring him to work with me a couple of days a week. He finishes college in June, and we're just going to sort of see what I can do with him, really.
How old is he?
He's 18.
Wow.
19.
That's crazy, man. You don't look old enough to have a boy that age.
Cheers,
Saying Wayne that was in earlier, he's got an 18-year-old.
Yeah.
Mad. To think that you've got an little adult, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's mad. So I see a thing on Instagram or TikTok or something that you were paying him 30 quid a day, which, to be honest with you, as a son, if he's living with you and you're like, I mean, that £30 is enough because it's learning, it's life skills, isn't it, man?
Also, listen, like I've said to him, and I've said it on there before, I was 35 years old, I was an apprentice, getting nothing. I still had bills, I still had to look after the kids. And honestly, I couldn't, if you actually said, because when I first started, I didn't have I went broke, so I completely never had nothing here. And I started working for a little while. And then I was thinking, any penny I got to save here. And then when the college turned around and said, we're changing the criteria for you to pass your gas, you got to go out and get 800 hours of work. Then I knew I had to go and work for free.
So it was eight.
Well, it's not it's just a portfolio. You got to get the portfolio done, but in that you got to do like gas tests and boiler installs and all of these things. So you're not going to be able to just do that on your own. You've got to go on whatever company.
We've just actually taken on a chap who was a friend of one of the other guys who works with us, and he's just finished his portfolio, but basically he got mugged off quite a bit from where he was. They kept promising that him to get his experience. He's a wicked plumber, but he said to get his gas hours. But what I liked about your video with the 30 quid is you put a video back when people were like, mate, that's not enough money.
The thing is, for me, it's like, I don't want him to come to work to think, I've got to go to work to get money. I want him to come and know that I'm learning something. Because that's the attitude I had. Like when I first started, even though I wasn't getting any money in them 5 months, the vision was way past that. The vision was almost where I'm at now. Do you know what I mean? The vision was get my own van, start my own company. I didn't know how. Jobs are good wasn't anything back then. It was just like, I've got to change my life. I've got to turn my life around. And it's either I was doing that van driving at the time. I thought I could either work another 30 years doing something I hate, or if I take myself away for 2 years, which is, obviously I'm continuing, but the first...
You worked on yourself, innit?
Yeah, within a year, I was getting the same money what I was as a van driver. And then within 3 years, I probably doubled it, and then doubled it again after 3 and a bit years. And then about after it's like you can earn decent money, man.
Yeah, no, it's good. Only put the hours in though. Like
and
everything, man.
The thing is, I think for me, because I had to do so much, like I started work at 5 a.m, so I was getting up at 4. I was going work. Then I had to leave there and go and work with my mate so I could learn how to do servicing and gas. And then I'll go home, I'll get my daughter. Then I get my daughter off from school. Then I go on, my son's there. I'm cooking dinner. So I was working the whole day anyway. So when I've took away some of the things I don't have to do anymore, maybe I don't have to get my daughter every day, or I don't have to, I ain't at college, or I don't have to. So now it's just, I'm getting paid for them hours now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
no, I get it. And also, I think if you start off when times are tough, that's all you know. So then, it's easier
it's
that
almost,
way.
And
So
even saying that, it's even when I started knowing how to do things and charging people, it's almost like I struggled at the start to charge people because I was like,
I remember you saying,
I was just doing this for free, like so.
You probably didn't
what do I charge
realise
them?
that you were good then.
Yeah.
So going on from good, right? Pardon the pun. So Rye Gas, I started Rye Gas because I would just be Ryan from British Gas, going around doing private work, and then people used to just save me in their phone as Ryan Gas. But then because it was Ryanair, I dropped the N. And then it was like, a bit of an easy name, like Rye Gas. I actually got bullied for it because people from British Gas...
From people in the industry or...
Just twats from British Gas.
Okay.
And they're still probably there anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like, trying to mug me off at the time for basically taking the leap of faith. Didn't know where I was going. I just take a leap, right?
Yeah.
But, so that's where Rye Gas, the name, come from. But Jobs Are Gooden. How did you think of that?
You know what? Obviously, as it's quite a known phrase within like the building industry sort of thing.
I've started using it. I swear down, man. And every time I'm using it, my mates who like follow you and stuff are thinking like, oh mate. It's wicked phrase.
It's a known phrase. I've heard it before. So like I said, I've done social media stuff for years, like family stuff, me and my kids. But it's just been about sort of my life and where I'm going. Yeah. And because I started the whole journey, people were sort of interested in what I was doing. So obviously I just started plumbing, worked for a company, started learning the skill, worked for myself. And then I'd finish a job. So obviously, I do my filming. I finish a job and I say, jobs are good. And
he just kept saying it?
Just kept saying it. Just caught on. Then all of a sudden, like my videos are getting hundreds of thousands of views in that. Jobs. And then when people see me in the street, hey, jobs are good. So I thought, that's it now, innit? You got to go with it. You got to run with it, man.
It's amazing, man. So going back a little bit then, your boy is obviously learning life skills, even though he probably doesn't want to be an apprentice. It doesn't matter. He's still learning that you need to go out and do the dirty job, pick your tools up, do this, go and put money in the van, do you know what I mean? Blah, 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 blah. I know you're quite honest in whenever I've met you about obviously where you originated from, blah, 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 blah. So your social media following, and I think a lot of people that look up to you are probably little versions at times of yourself.
Well,
You know what I mean? And I feel like you're a role model for younger men and women to what's that? I don't know what's the word, thrive towards or something along those lines, right? Strive, that's it. I'm not very good with words.
Same.
Although I talk a lot. It's weird. One of them ones. But for going back a little bit again, with City Plumbing, one of the questions that I was going up to people and asking is, what would you advise to, someone wanting to become an apprentice or someone wanting to go and do well in life, right? So knowing what you've been through, where you've come from, what you've achieved, blah, 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 what would you recommend for the youth of today?
For me, obviously, I've said I've always been honest about. I was always hustling. That's what I've always done my whole life. And then got to like mid-30s, didn't know nothing else. Even down to like, I had a mortgage, lucky enough, because my missus was a bit more sorted out than I was.
But that's probably why she wanted to be with you.
Yeah. Because it was like, do you know what I mean? So I was that way, she was that, and then
the yin and the yang.
The yin and the yang, yeah. And then as I got older, like again, everyone, and I've never been like a gangster or bad, but it's not what I was about. But everyone I had sort of around me, like my whole life more or less, friends, if I'd go somewhere and I'd meet people, it was always like, what criminal activity do you do? Do you know what I mean? So that was the sort of people I was mixing around. It's only when I sort of was coming, not even coming away from it. But
listen, let's be straight. Hustling is an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Like you see it from a young age at school. The kids that are selling stuff. That is an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
It's just making sure you sell the right product, I suppose, isn't it?
The thing is, for me, again, when I started this is why even working for free, it was never in my mind what I'm going to be able to achieve, because I've already done it all. I've already like built things almost, like structured things, but just the wrong things. So I knew once I learned the skill, which was plumbing, I knew I'd be able to go on and progress. I knew that. And even down to like...
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, look, it's the right product, isn't it? Because people have this about them. And you we're talking earlier on another podcast. If for every, I want to say 5, it might be 6 people, you become I think it's called the average.
Of
the
what
other
you're
chap
on.
said it's called the sum. And he basically was like, yeah, the sum or the average, same thing. So who you surround yourself with in life, and sometimes you can't, when you're young, you can't change that.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because you end up sometimes knocking around with the wrong people.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And that
yeah.
can happen
Anywhere.
at any age.
Yeah, yeah.
So I suppose, so for you, obviously, your path was that, and then you at some point decided to jump off that path.
Yeah. But again, all right, so going back to your question, like, what advice would I give? Just go and get a job, really, or go and learn a skill from young. Because even if you're not choosing the sort of lifestyle I had, or you're choosing a lifestyle of, I'm just going to go and work, you're always just going to be that. And it's going to be hard to change that. Like, once you've started something, it's the older you get, you got bills, you got things that you got to sort out.
I wish they taught us that at school.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm teaching my kids that.
Yeah, something I need to be better with my son, to be fair. But if you get them from young, you have to, man.
Do you know what?
But it's only things I've learned later on, because I didn't know no difference.
My dad, though, my mum not so much, and my dad was a money man.
Oh, was it?
And he come from nothing. He grew up on a farm, weirdly, hence why I probably bought a farm. Because I feel like when you're young, you absorb all your information from your parents, right? And what happened with him, he was born on a farm in Ireland, and then at 3 years old, caught meningitis, went into hospital, was in hospital for like 2 years, came out with polio. And French is good. That's the one thing school did teach us. But basically, and in Ireland back in the day, you just got bombed off. And because he couldn't work, he just got bombed off, went around all these children's homes, getting bullied, blah, 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 blah. And then when you're young and you're looking up to your dad or your parent or wherever, you absorb everything. And from the young age of hearing him, I hate bullies, And he then... again, do you know what he done, mate? I'll be honest with you. He come over and moved to Holston, and he's too old now to get in trouble for it. You know what I mean? He's too old. But he was a minicab driver, and again, I don't know. He just got involved with people. People liked him. He was a bit fearless, and would just fucking do some madness to hustle, make money. And eventually become a taxi driver, and then used to always be talking about money, which is probably not a good thing, because money...
In a bad way, in a good way?
Just was a saver. Because he had nothing when he was a kid.
So he didn't want to ever lose it again, I suppose.
Exactly. And listen, they say money's the root to all evil, which I agree with at times, I think time's the best currency in the world, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But I think, but the thing is, I think to have time, you sort of need money, really, to have the time that you want to have.
It's a hard one. I mean, obviously, the world's a tough place, and it costs money these days to live, right? But so my dad, maybe he didn't teach me, but I heard a lot of money problems talk, you know what I mean? Like, and he's self-employed and was disabled, and then got injured at times, and this, that, and the other. He'd always be like, we can't do this. But my son, man, and my daughter, I'm teaching them everything. But I've actually got a thing which I'm going to probably end up eating my words with time, as I get older as a dad and learn more about the school system, because I'm kind of against it. But at the same time,
you kind of got
when I watch them learn and grow, and I'll probably change it. But I don't believe in homework, because I've taken work home with me for so many years.
And not got it done.
Well, I just think they can take their homework when they're older. Do you know what I mean? So my kids, for banter, probably will be like they like. It is what it is. I've got to be me. Like they're like getting a detention when they probably didn't need one, or they're getting their time taken off them at home and didn't need it. Then my children are invoicing for their time. And that's from that's from the day dot. But you know what? It is what it is. It's a big thing to say, and I don't mind taking the repercussions of it. But at the same time, as you get older and stuff, I might go, Ryan, you shouldn't have said that, because I don't know it. But I know my school time was no good, man. But listen, we go back, we go around in circles with conversations, right? But I want to stick to what we were talking about yesterday, right? If you were now 16 and you could go back in time, what would you have gone and worked as?
What if I could have done anything, or
anything? But you can't do football, and it's got to be something like, and everything's achievable.
But
it can't be like fucking Hollywood.
I wouldn't change anything about my life, just generally. But if I wish, not even I wish, if I had the advice of myself, so now, if you're 16 now when you're watching this and you are already sort of, I don't know, you might be hustling, or you think that you're going to go down the route of getting fast money, which is never fast, by the way. I would have just got into plumbing.
That's great advice, man.
I would have just got into plumbing, man. I would have, because the thing is, what I've achieved in the last 6 years with the plumbing, if I'd started at 16, imagine what it would have been.
Mate,
now.
listen, this is so nice to hear. So basically, I was saying to you before, the cameras were on, like, I've had loads of little detours recently, doing this, doing that, and now I'm like, mate, I'm a tradesman, man. Yeah. And I'm sticking with that. I'm keeping my boots on, man. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's a wicked trade to have.
No, it's not, for sure. Like I said, like, obviously I played football. Like I said, I've always hustled, always played football, yeah? And when I used to be at, like, certain football clubs, it's not a racial thing, it's just what it was, yeah? A lot of, like, the white boys at the club, they all had trades, plumbers, electricians. I didn't even think of it. I didn't even think of, it'd be cool to learn a skill. Like, it wasn't embedded in me from anyone. You know, like, obviously a lot of them boys, I'm working with my dad, and then that means so they had that advice of go and get a trade because you're going to always be able to earn money. I didn't have that advice. So for me...
Did you grow up with your dad?
No. My dad died when I was quite young. I was like 17.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, nice. But and they were, on that side of the family, they was all criminals on that side. So I sort of looked up to that, although I weren't, like, again, I've never been, but I just was like, So it was always, but then I've got my brother who got the same mum and dad. He 19, 16, come out of school, went straight to work. 19, trained as an electrician and just worked his whole life.
So your brother's a Sparks?
Yeah.
Wow, did you collaborate?
No, because he works, this is what I'm saying, this is the funny thing as well. So he works for a company, always has done, sort of always, but then I was always hustling, and then I've learnt the skill and then straight away worked for myself because...
You're an entrepreneur, that's why.
Yeah. You
had to do it.
Yeah, I had to. Like, for me, it was never enough. Like, what I think also as well, once you actually start a journey, you realise that, no, hold on a minute, I can do that. So then you just want more,
like you say, you can't change your journey.
Yeah.
It is, and you have to go down them scenarios to learn.
To learn it, yeah. But like I said, I think maybe because I started late, it was just like, no, almost like I've got to catch up. But I'm still learning as I'm going, so...
Yeah, that's amazing, man. Going back with the tradespeople that are employed, that is so important as well because you need them, right? You can lose your head as an entrepreneur or a business owner or one-man band or whatever because it don't stop.
No.
You know what I mean? Whereas the beauty of being employed is, going back to time, is hopefully... You know, when they say this is the end of the day, you go to the end of the day, you go home, done. It's not your problem. Yeah. You know, as long as you put your graft in during the day and, you know, then you can switch off and actually be yourself.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, I get it, and yeah, you can. I don't. Obviously, you're an entrepreneur yourself, so you understand that. And for how I want to live, I know if my hours of working are from 8 till 4, I'm not going to be able to live how I want to live. And like, again, going back to time. Like, if I've got to give someone else a lot of my time in terms of an employer, and if they can decide when I can go on holiday, when I can have a day off XYZ, I'm never going to get that time. I've always give that person that time.
Yeah, no, 100%. What I think's good with you though, mate, is you're and the word is consistent. Yeah? Like last time we spoke on a podcast, you were like on the way to the airport. You got a job and you didn't turn it down. Yeah. And I was like, mate, I have so many people turn me down for them sort of things where go and do it, get it in the bag. No, you know what I mean? For me, and you're in for an operation tomorrow.
Yeah.
And you're going out and graft today because you wanted to get
I need to get my, yeah, for sure. So, yeah, it's being an entrepreneur, I think, you know, you can't really switch off. So, you've got an employees, and that's it, literally.
Do you know what I was thinking? I'm just thinking here now out loud, like going back to football, right? You're a typical striker, innit? You're going for a goal, man, innit?
I'm being greedy, bro. I want it all, man. I want everything.
Because you're going to get subbed tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Man. See, you just never know what's going to happen. But like I said, I think, going back to what we're talking about, time and being able to, I've always, so when I was, like I said, I hustled my whole life, that's what I've always done. And I was always all right for money, So I could always sort of, if I was going on holiday, I wasn't flashy, it wasn't nothing crazy like that, but I was always all right. But then when I started this and I had nothing, it was like, hold on a minute, this is like getting paid, paying your bills, you got 50 quid. I was like, nah, this ain't, if I can't live like this ain't for me. So it gave me that hunger to just be like, no,
because you went into starvation mode.
Yeah.
And then you were like, I'm fucking starving, man. Feed me.
That's exactly what it was, literally. So
that's amazing, man.
Yeah, man.
How long, touch wood, it's not very long. How long are you going to be out of action work-wise?
Well, I'm getting the varicose veins removed in one of my legs. They said 2 weeks, but then other people said it shouldn't be more than a week. I'm not going to rush back, but if I'm out for longer than a week, I'll be surprised, I'll be honest. So I can't sit there, man. I'm too, yeah, I won't be able to sit there for more than a week, I don't think.
So I'm not very good with words, but I remember stuff, right? So today is Tuesday, right? Monday morning, early hours, so like basically Sunday night, 3 a.m, bang, bang, bang at the door. Yeah. Ring camera, bang, belling my phone off, ambulance outside. And I was like, fuck, what's gone on? Like, you know, when you're like half asleep. Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. And it was for the farm next door. Yeah. So then that was that, pointing them in the right direction. I was like, oh, fuck, Ryan, man. Should you go and like see what's going on? Because they're old. So I'm like, should I go next door, make sure everything's okay? Then I'm like, Ryan, stop interfering. Don't play God. Just not like, you know. Next thing, bang, another ambulance has turned up, right? And I'm like, oh, fuck, man. Because I've been in these scenarios where it's a problem when 2 ambulances turn up.
Yeah, of course.
But then maybe that's just my experience. Anyways, long story short, last night, so Monday evening, I called them. I didn't want to be nosy, but I was like, listen, is everything okay? Yeah, like, and they were like, oh, the woman said, so sorry for the palaver. I was like, don't worry about that. Yeah, is everything all right? What happened is the guy, weirdly as well, I seen him on Sunday morning chopping his tree. He's about 85, like chopping his tree. And I'm like, God, he's in fucking good innings for his age, yeah. And his varicose vein popped in the middle of the night, yeah.
Whoa, why you say
No, but yours hasn't popped. You're going in there to get it removed. So definitely a good thing to do. But anyways, long story short, he lost 2 pints of blood, which for you is nothing because you're obviously young and fit. And but touch wood, he's out in 3 days, and his popped in the middle of the night.
How weird is that? How connected everything is, man. This is freaky.
I know. And listen, I told you this story, but actually what really happened yesterday is that happened at 3 a.m, and then at 7 a.m, I had another scenario at work where someone's dad was poorly, and then my nanny, her boy at 8 o'clock, unfortunately was in a fucking car accident, man. So 3 things happened yesterday, and you know, it fucked my head up. So I said to the missus, I can't go work today. I said, I'm just not in the right frame of mind. So I went to the cafe with my kids and just scrambled egg beans, just fucking, you know, like when you just like...
Too much going on
in my head. Touch wood though. All was okay, man.
I mean...
So basically, I think you'll be back to work. You'll be back to work on Friday. JOBSA GOODEN, mate. Yeah.
I hope so, bruv. I'll have a little rest up. To be fair, I've got a lot of content I want to get done, so I choose that time to do that, really. And I've had them years, so I should have had them done a while ago, but...
Thing is, though, like, that's typical, isn't it? No rest for the wicked, yeah? Like, even when you're down, you're up.
You're right,
because you find something else to do, innit?
Yeah, because, you know, I'm so active now, more so than ever, like, that if I sit down for... I can't... Before... Like again, when I used to...
I'll tell you what we're going to do then, if you got time, mate. Yeah? We're going to send you this and you can edit it.
No, I'm not that good. I'm not that good. I can edit my little bits, but I don't know about all this. I'll sit down for a day or two and then I'll be on my phone trying to do something.
Yeah, no, it's great, man. I had one time as a self-employed guy that I sort of got injured, and I broke my hand, broke my thumb actually. Weird injury, the thumb, because you end up like needing it more.
You can't do nothing, can it? Yeah.
And I bought a new build flat in, actually weirdly, near Five Ways in Croydon.
Yeah.
And I basically couldn't work on the tools fully because I don't know, left or right, whatever. Anyways, I had this white new build flat that I'd bought, and at the time it was like feature walls, and I basically painted one of the walls dark red, but I couldn't cut in because of my fucking hand was fucked. But I remember the song Daniel Merriweather, you know, like took something perfect and painted it red. I basically fucked up my flat whilst I was injured, so I had to pay someone to come in and undo all my work, man. So yeah, man.
I won't be doing that.
I wish I had known not to. I can't paint for shit, basically.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I like painting when it's done. If I wouldn't do my own painting.
Yeah,
I wouldn't do.
I can't do it. I'm shit at it. Honestly, I rush everything.
I think you know what it is. I think when you paint, I don't know what you're. I'm all right. I can if I need to paint a room, I'll paint the room. But you look at it and you think, oh, there's that bit. You know what I mean? But when someone paints it, who paints every day.
Yeah, it's an art, mate.
It's completely different. It looks completely different.
They say if you can piss, you can paint, and that's not the truth. Because I've seen it on time, right? So going on to pricing work and stuff, like to price a job, like a good decorator will go in there and just prep, bang, 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 feel sound, and then the last couple of days it will just come to beauty.
Yeah, it's the prep work. That's the main. Yeah,
and then it's an art, honestly, man. Yeah. Decorating's actually a really skilled job, I think. It is. And you get other people that will just butcher it, take double the amount of time, and then tell you they've done a good job.
Yeah, no, that's true.
One of my pet hates is a shit decorator, man.
I
really
hate
bad.
Shit work, though.
Say it again?
Shit work.
Oh, I know. I know.
You know, it's when I was the guy who taught me, Paul Snow, he was so anal with like the smallest thing, he'd miss a clip or... So because I was like his little like apprentice, like we'd walk around and he was like the
How tall are you?
6'3". And he's tiny as well. So yeah, we'd walk round and he'd be going, look at that fucking, he ain't put a clip in there, that shit, look at that. And I think, oh shit, I never done one. But it made me want to do the work better. And you know, when you're finished and you look at something, you think, yeah, that looks decent.
Yeah, man.
I couldn't look at work and just, you know, when I see something, I'm not judging other people's work, but sometimes you look at things, you think, you don't give a shit. Like you just done anything with that.
Yeah, no, it's not good. You know what it is as well? When even when I sometimes had a bad day in the early days and I'd like messed up a joint or something, I'd always just cut it out and start again.
Yeah.
I'd have to do it for my own sanity anyway.
Yeah, same. But for me, I'd do it because I used to work on sites. So if I'd go back the next day and I could see my work and it just looked a mess, I'd be like, I can't look at that. Like, it looks terrible. So I'd just do it again as well.
So the last time we were speaking, we were talking about software and stuff. Have you done anything?
No, like I said, I've just created this link that it can go straight through to me. But
I really think you should do it because obviously if you've got the natural skill set to be able to like create content, I think that'd be a game changer for you to log your customers.
Yeah.
Because you've already got all these customers that are great, but then if, for instance, times, you know what it's like in business, it's feast and famine. Do you know what I mean? 1 minute you're busy, then you're fucking quiet, and there's no equilibrium. But with your customers now, if, for instance, you're going to go and do a boiler service today, in a year's time, you just naturally send them a reminder.
Yeah.
It's just repeat business.
No, I definitely need a
That's how
system.
You've got to do it, mate.
Yeah, no, I know. You know, it's like I said, because I'm learning business. I'm on my own. I don't really know what I'm doing. Like, realistically, I could have stayed on site, but I'm like, there's more for me to do. So I sort of continuing doing the things I know what to do and I'm good at, and then...
You won't lose anything because all your jobs will be logged.
Yeah.
When the time you got there...
Okay, so me having a system, it's a system, obviously. What sort of money would that cost? Would I get someone to do it? Like, how...
No, you do it yourself. So, for instance... Wayne, that was here earlier, uses JobLogic.
Okay.
We've been on CommuSoft for a long time. I'm a very loyal guy, right? And change for me is sometimes hard to accept because my brain just doesn't work with it. Yeah. But like, for instance, CommuSoft as a one-man band was amazing for me. A laptop, I used to carry a laptop with me at all times. So then if I needed to hotspot or even then the hotspot wasn't even a thing, but even now I have a laptop on me. Yeah. So if I ever need to go on there, blah, 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 blah. So what I'd recommend for you, if I could give you any business advice to scale up, I'd say get yourself a laptop. Yeah. Carry it all the time with you, even on jobs. And then if someone wants to book a job in for you, instead of a text message or a WhatsApp or anything like that, take 1 minute to book them into your system. Yeah. Name, email address, contact number, and obviously home address. Yeah. And then you've then got that contact for life. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then obviously, unless you do a bad job, which wouldn't happen because jobs are good.
Come on.
But yeah, I would do it straight away. And then basically the minute you leave the job on your phone, you could invoice it. So then what you would probably end up doing is get someone to start doing your job bookings.
Yeah.
Start doing your invoicing.
Yeah,
all the stuff that's going to take your time. Yeah. And then you carry on.
So if I should start, you think I should start it first just to get it?
You have to, mate.
Yeah.
You have to. With that being said, is you're a goal scorer, you're a striker in business. You're going to go out, you're going to win, you're going to get opportunity, you're going to set things up, blah, 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 and you're ultimately going to put the ball in the back of the net. Yeah. Tracking back is no point for you. What's the point? Do you know what I mean? Because you're not going to score any goals that way. Yeah, you're going to save some goals. That's fine. Yeah, but normally scoring goals win games.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? I don't think I've ever known a football match to win by conceding goals.
Yeah, can't.
Because you start 0-0, isn't it? You start at equilibrium.
Yeah.
But so I'd say the first thing you should do is CommuSoft, I think is good. Jason that started that, he's an entrepreneur. He's 37, 38.
So he's software.
Yeah, and he started it literally, 2008. He's gone from there, and I feel like he's constantly evolving.
And it's straightforward.
For you, it probably costs you about £60 a month, maybe £100 a month maximum, which is less than a gym membership, but it's going to control your business. You know what I mean? It's literally
you're going to have to send me the info.
Yeah, I mean, there's other ones, there's other ones out there, but all your invoicing's in one place, all of your job history's in one place, all of where you were, your whole diary. So if ever you look back, I feel like nowadays, of all times, not what you know, it's what you can prove. Whether that's to someone else or whether it's to yourself. Yeah. Like, so for me, I can go back to 2000 and I think we went onto software in 2014. So 11 years of software, but I was 5 years off of software.
Yeah.
Like black book, diary, blah, 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 writing stuff down. But I can go back to that day and pull figures, like, and run reports and go, how many jobs was I doing? And I can actually scale my growth and go, okay, how many jobs did I do? Blah, blah, blah. Do the maths. A bit like football nowadays, they know how many passes. They know who is MOM because statistically they can prove it, right? So you could then go, well, how many jobs am I doing this? What travel time? Blah, 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 right? So like, for instance, taxi drivers, when they're driving around empty, they're not earning money. Yeah. So really, the aim of the game is to always have a passenger in your car to make money out of being a taxi driver. Yeah. So then you might find to drive there is not worth your time when you can go there and then you can then book that job back. But I think software, you have to do it, man.
Yeah. By the time you see me next time, I'll be on software for sure.
Be a game changer.
Because I think, like I said, I think I'm learning as I'm going along. So someone like yourself to say that's what you need. Yeah, I mean,
again, earlier on we spoke to Wayne. This is Wayne's book here. Yeah? This is fucking free advertising, Wayne. So you owe me, yeah. Off the Tools Alliance, and Wayne's a tradesman that's now a business coach. But he said in this thing, there's non-negotiables. Yeah, your software thing is a non-negotiable thing. You have to do it. It's not even. It has to happen, man. A bit like you have to get a van. Yeah. You know what I mean? Otherwise you get a bus and then this can happen, blah, 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 blah. But without software nowadays, it's... I
think also as well, not that it's something... I mean, it's years forward if it was that. Like having that software and having that information, if I ever wanted to sell, if I wanted something like that, that's...
Or even if you want to take a step back... Because, you said earlier on you'd be a plumber. Yeah. So you probably won't ever sell because you're enjoying what you're doing. Yeah. But if you wanted to take a step back to grow the business, then you need the software.
So then someone can control that
and then you can see exactly what time the next version of yourself turns up at a job, how long they've done this. And then if ever you do need to have a one-to-one meeting, you could be like, well, that took you that long for a boiler service. Let's say they're in that boiler service for an hour and a half. And then you can see that you were in there 37 minutes. Yeah. So you have to do it to track it. Because not everyone has the same pace. Yeah. But you're the leader of the pack. So you're basically the pace setter to go around and you can't prove anything out of your black book. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I'm telling you, for £100 or even if it was, I would say it's worth as a one-man band a couple of £100 a month. Yeah. Because of what you'd gain out of it. You wouldn't and you're naturally going to start your business then is going to be an asset because you can track it all.
Okay, thank you.
So, like, you see, like, for instance, followers on social media and stuff like that. Sorry, actually, no, it's not even my fucking phone ringing. That's my watch ringing. Going on to that, that's mad, isn't it? Like, so watches now ring, and glasses now ring.
Yeah,
that's
my glasses
weird,
ring.
isn't
Yeah,
it,
I know.
That's weird.
Soon you'll have something in your eyes, and it's
when that day comes,
mate,
man, 666, mate, brings me on to my next subject. I'm going to an event on Thursday, an AI event, and I feel like for my business, where we're at now, and again, you know, mate, you're there as well, like because. The rungs on the ladder is some people have to go step by step. Yeah. Other people can turn up late and be able to get up the ladder quickly because they've observed other stuff throughout their life. But my next step or our next step as in Rye Group is we have to really go into AI because to be able to control how many jobs come in and to be as aggressive as you need to be now in business to win a job, AI is going to take over. I think
so with the AI stuff, like again, because I do the content, I'm always looking at what's the next thing, what's going to happen. And the AI stuff for business you're for what if you get involved early, you're gonna scale ridiculously.
Yeah.
But if you
don't,
and
I do feel early's like now. It's just only been out a year or two.
Honestly, it's even in another 2 years, it's still going to be early because it's like the internet. It's like people don't clock onto these things for years.
I know.
And even now, even you being involved in it now, you're going to see what it could do for your business. Because like I said, I just watch loads of YouTube stuff on AI and business and X, Y, Z. And then when you see what it can do, you're like, well, if I had that business structure like that, then I could put that into that. You could,
mate, so we like say we and loads of other people are obviously going to go for it. With Bitcoin and stuff, I got offered to get in that quite early and I didn't. I fucking wish I did, man. Prick Ryan, you know what I mean? I wish I had known, man.
But that's again, I think that's another thing. That is one of the things.
Could still be time to jump in on it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the crypto thing's here forever now. It just depends.
I don't think though, mate. It's too clever for me, man.
You reckon?
Yeah, I'm bricks and mortar, mate. I'm just a fucking tradesman, man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to stick to that. But with like 16-year-olds or 14, 15...
I think for you, to be honest, I think for like yourself, you'd probably benefit from even having someone who knows how to just deal with just the AI stuff.
Oh, mate, we're looking at it. Yeah, and you know what? Also, I'm taking advice from other people that have...
Scaled their business with it.
Big time.
Massively.
And listen, I'm learning from them and a lot of the things and the pains and the struggles I went through and they're like, I went through it. I'm like, sweet, man, it makes me feel better.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, you
don't really know. You think, what's that? Am I going to use that? Am I not? But ultimately, it's just going to cut the time. Again, it's going to cut the time.
Like your friends that, your friends and stuff like that, your friends, But your friends are your friends. And then not all of your friends would know what's going on. No. So they wouldn't understand how your day went or what was going on or what page you're on or blah, 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 blah. But I think nowadays, the apprenticeships, one thing I don't think AI can come at is people on the tools.
Yeah.
How can you, I think a robot probably wouldn't be as good as doing maybe...
Who knows?
If a robot takes my job on the tools, I'm punching the robot up, man. I'm telling you, the robot's getting a headlock, mate. I'm telling you, man.
Imagine it.
For instance, imagine being a gardener, you see a robot coming at your grass, mate.
Oh, mate.
The robot's getting
you see it, though. When you see them films, you see it, you think, who knows what's going to happen, man?
They argue, though, that with AI, actually what it should do is free up people.
You look like a robot while I was just saying this. Take that hood off.
With AI, they're actually saying that it technically should free up people to do other things and work less time. So in an ideal world, people should only have to work 3 or 4 days a week as opposed to 5. But however, that won't.
It depends on the job, though, innit, I think.
Yeah, there's a rainbow there. Look, man. You see it? Is that a rainbow? Or is that just a ray of light?
It's a ray of light, man. It looks like a ray of light.
Well, that's nice enough.
It is, yeah. It's lovely here, man.
Yeah, nice, good. So we're going to start doing retreats and business networking here.
Good.
Yeah, man. And there's a couple of lakes up from here, so we're going to do like little fucking swimming sessions. But
you swim in a lake?
I asked that question earlier, and they went like basically. I think they said yes.
Your own sort of, well.
And then I'm just going to have a plumbing, a couple of showers, and fuck it, and then. Singers, get some, some motivational speakers, some business advisors, everything, just to be around like-minded
brand,
people.
It's just building your brand as well, to be fair, even bigger than what.
Do you know what the thing is? The brands. It's hard because I don't feel like any of these podcasts actually build anything towards Rye Group, because the majority of the time, especially in the most recent ones, I haven't really spoke about Rye Gas or Rye Group. I more spoke about other people, and I quite enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's kind of like my break from work.
Yeah.
But I think now, as I've done a lot more podcasts, definitely Rye Group and Rye Gas are going to be more involved in it, because I've started doing stuff with my own staff. And I love it.
Oh, what the content you mean?
Yeah, and I love it because it's like you get to talk about stuff that's actually.
Well, do you follow them out on that, or you follow them, or just talk to them, or you follow them on jobs, or what's the sort of?
So,
have you got someone who does all your he does all your socials?
No, not for Rye Group. I've always just done it.
Oh, you do it yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But again, man, my style it's outdated now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put a photo up. I've got a good job today. Hashtag boiler. Hashtag gas. Hashtag Valen. Hashtag what's the bush.
You gotta move with the times. You gotta get someone in. You gotta get someone in.
Yeah, I did get someone in 2019, but unfortunately, the stuff that he was putting up, I found it really boring.
Okay.
I feel you got to be fucking yourself.
Yeah.
But I am going to start this year for me.
I think the thing is, I think the content that you do on your own page is entertaining, really.
It is, but you know what? You got to have that thing, right? So I've seen it on Twitter when people are like, my views are my own and not of the companies. And I've got to do that now because I am a fucking bit of a spaceman. Do you know what I mean? So what I do and run about doing stuff is not really what the business does. But of course, I work for the business and I may be the captain of the ship, but I think I am definitely going to go back on the tools this year. So I've got...
What, every day? Or?
No, just for my own sanity. I love it.
Okay, yeah.
So I got myself a new van, kitted that out.
Oh, is
and,
it? Nice.
Yeah, the basic, the tools are like brand new. So I need to like just run them in
use
the
them.
dirt.
You gotta use them.
Yeah, and I've got some heat pumps to fit. I'm building houses. I've always built houses, right?
Yeah. Are you going to do the... Oh, nice.
But the next development I've got coming up, I'm going to probably tender out 2 houses.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to do 2 content houses.
Oh, serious?
Yeah. So I'm going to document...
What are the content houses for? Like,
documentary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and put 2 different teams on them. But I mean, the other 2 I'll get done and then have a look, see actually what if done better. And I'll track all the prices.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I'll be able to go, okay, well, subbing it out was this, pricing it up was this.
And then it's just more content.
And then, exactly.
Yeah.
And then there's a few hotels around here, so I'm going to bring some big personalities in the trade game, but I always say game because of the games.
Games,
but I'll bring them down here, put them up in the hotel as part of their price or day rate, and just have fun.
That's what it is.
And have some banter around the site, you know what I mean? And have a look at other people, you know, like the 2 houses. So we're like, mate, they've already started putting blocks up. We're still like in the ground, man. The concrete's not even gone off.
I think you got a lot.
We'll get you involved, you know, because you've done loads of new builds, haven't you?
Yeah. That's what I started really. I feel like you have the sort of social media stuff has gone crazy.
I don't know.
I think so. But I think you've got because you've got so much ideas and so many things you want to do. So it's going to continue.
Hyperactive, mate. Yeah. But as I've got older, I've done so much filming recently, right? And I've been offered so many opportunities that it's one of them hard ones. Like I've been offered films and all sorts, right?
Serious?
And it's one of them ones now that it's like what do they say? A leopard can't change his spots.
Yeah.
I can't really change my spots. I am who I am, and I feel like I've got unfinished business.
Yeah.
So I feel like I need to keep going with
what you're doing,
trade stuff. You know what I mean? And then I actually think it'll be the best thing to do. So
I think you just got to sort of follow it. I think like just what you enjoy the most is important.
Well, they say there's no place like home.
Oh, there's not.
Yeah, and my home's in a van, mate. So what we'll do, if it's cool with yourself, is we'll do the hat trick soon.
Yeah.
And we'll do the 3rd one. Yeah, but I can only do it on one condition.
Go on.
You have software.
I will.
Yeah?
By the time I've seen it, honestly, that's going to be like my main thing now. Because it's serious. The thing is, it's funny, like, before I met you obviously at the football thing. I've seen your vans, I've seen the things over the years. I've inspired to look at that and think. And I remember it's funny, I was in my, obviously I've got a decent van now, but when I first started, I was in the Vauxhall Zafira. I remember I took a picture of one of your vans and I was like, if he can do it, I could do it. But not in a disrespectful way, because I know how much work you've had to do, but my mentality is, I don't see why I can't build something.
Mate, 100%. You know what I mean? And again, 100%. I was saying
sorry to cut you.
That's right.
So going back to someone like yourself giving me that advice of you need a system, that's going to be it's got to be my main priority.
Mate,
it has to be.
That goes before your content.
Yeah.
So the time that you're off injured, like I can only tell you the software that I started with. I don't know the other ones. There's
okay, so me looking for the software, would I just type in, I don't know, plumbing software?
So the only ones I know...
Or send me the ones that you know so I can have a look at them.
So you've got CommuSoft, you've got JobLogic, you've got Big Change, you've got SimPro, that's 4.
You said something, mate.
And then ServiceMate, I think it is. Yeah, but there's 5 or 6. I don't know if one or two of them may not be the big ones. The big ones, the ones that aren't the big ones are... No, I'm joking. I'm not getting copies off. But so basically, there's a few of them. I think different ones are for plumbing and electrics. But for you, what you could do is you could watch tutorials on them.
That's what I do. I watch. That's
and then
how I
give
learn.
you details, and their sales reps will be banging you down. Yeah. But because of who you are, you've got to be like, listen, you're naturally going to be on your Superman glasses, booking in your work. They would be mad to even charge you.
Yeah.
They'd be stupid to charge you. They'd be better off giving you all the software free of charge because you're naturally going to, if it's
they're
good,
going to get promotion regardless because I'm always
But anyways, whoever it is, choose it correctly because they don't own your customer base, right? But I think when you build your history with someone, like Facebook or Instagram or, I mean, they're the same, right? Or Twitter or X, whatever it's called. All your followers and stuff like that, they're all owned by them. Yeah. Your website, obviously, you kind of own that domain. But I just feel like once you start something, you need to commit to go, okay, 5 or 10 years with that.
Yeah.
And then I remember when we were on the tools, right? You weren't there, but I was at the awards night, and there was some people there that I wouldn't say they were rude to me, but they were quite disrespectful. There's a few things they said, like, you know, I've got this many followers, blah, blah, blah. They were saying to me, right? And I haven't got a massive following on social media compared to some, but I do have a somewhat shape or form, small to medium-sized following, right? Yeah. And as the night went on, I kept on getting a bit pissed off about it, that these people were talking to me in that way. Yeah. And I was just like, mate, I've got so many more customers than you, man. Yeah. Like,
mate,
honestly, you know what I mean? I've got so many more customers,
the thing is, like, I mean, I'm glad that I've got the following already. Because it's just what I've always done, but you can't compare a following.
You can convert that to
this is what I'm trying to figure out. That's what I'm saying. So I know I've got something massive with a following, but now it's okay, business. Now let's figure out the business side.
But you could go to your following. You could go to your following, and say, right, I've gone onto a software. I'm going flat out now. You will be able to get the right person for a decent outgoing to what you're worth going out and about jobbing, being yourself, to them look after your main hub. But if I was you, I would say to all my followers, guys, okay, there's another thing I'm going to quickly say. Again, me and Wayne earlier on were talking about it, that your client becomes your friend quicker than your friend will become your client. So basically, like, test your followers to your friends. Go, guys, listen, if anyone would please send an email or send this to blah, 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 blah to become part of my client base and my software. And then let's say you've got 100,000 followers. Then out of them 100,000, how many of them become your client? Real clients. And not just someone that's watching. Get them coming on the journey, you know what I mean? And then you can then go, okay, every summer I'm going to do a discounted boiler service for all of my original followers. You know what I mean? And then you've locked them in for life because they do love you. Like, you get a lot of appreciation because you're yourself. And I think that's amazing. But you can't do any of this on pen and paper. It's got to be like, take a little bit step back. And again, another podcast we're doing earlier, it's all in the planning. To build something, or you got to plan it. And then I was saying to Wayne earlier, sometimes you need to demolish, strip back, and remove the old building or vehicle to then, like, to get rid of the Safira to get your van. You know what I mean? So I feel like you kind of need to now go get rid of your book, pen and paper, and all your old ways, and just it'll take you about 4 days, if that, 3 days maybe even 1 day.
What, learning it and just putting it all in, okay.
And all the videos that you take on your jobs, that you're naturally going to take a video for your content. You upload that to your software system, and you've always then got a track record. So if anything if you did fix a leak, and someone else has gone around there and completely touched your work, and then you get the blame for it, you have that video on that software system to be like, that's not how I left it. Yeah. Because not what you know, it's what you can prove, isn't it? Yeah. Well, I think we leave it at that then. That's bang on the nose, man. So the deal is, the next
Part
podcast,
3, and I've got a system involved in place.
And I'm going to wait for you to message me, say, Ryan, it's happening.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I want to do a podcast with you early doors in to how you're finding it. Yeah. Like, and how it's going on the very beginning
of having it, of starting it.
Of Jobs Are Gooden official. Not that you're not official, but you know what I mean. It's like
No, I know
it's
what
a bit like you're going to get.
It's started now. It's real now, almost. Like obviously, what I've got, I know what I've got now is.
It's basically like getting a ground. Like a ground, like as a football team. But like we've got our own ground now, and then you can always then go. I've got 10 customers. Really. I've got 100 customers. I've got 500. I've got 50,000 customers.
Jobs Are Gooden 2.0.
Jobs Are Gooden 2.0. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm impressed by you, man. I feel like you're very natural, and if you came into my house and I wasn't a tradesperson, I'd want to use you. Yeah. So I think put it to the test. Yeah. You know, you're not ever going to look back, man. I'm telling you. All right. So I'm going to wait for you to
honestly,
to call me.
I've got 5 days off now. I've sit a week off or something. I've got to.
Sweet, man.
Like I said, because you've said it even more, so I've got to think now.
Speak to Sarah. Sarah's really good at it. So before you do, you got Sarah's number, haven't you? Yeah. Speak to Sarah because she's a tough cookie, man. So like someone would say to me, "This is good on the software." Normally, I'm quite a trusted person, right? I buy off people, but Sarah scrutinizes everything.
Oh, is it?
So she'll be able to say to you, "This is the best price. This is what you need now." Yeah. And then it's easier to probably start off with the right company, so then you can just don't have to change because you don't want that. You just want to keep it simple.
You don't want to be changing, of course.
Yeah. Sweet, man. So I've been Ryan. You're going to have to say it again.
I've been Cole.
He's been Cole. The Jobs Are Gooden. It was a nice collab with Rye Group, a.k.a. Rye Gas. Jobs Are Gooden, a.k.a. Diz. Yeah. So, keep an eye on our socials. Please like, subscribe and share. And part 3 is going to be talking about software. Yep. Yeah, and Cole's new journey to create his following, a customer base that he can fully track. And by that time, I would be further along the AI process, and I can then share some info on that. Yeah,
sure. Thank you. Appreciate it, man.
Wicked, man.
Cheers, bro.
Cool. Good evening, and have a good night.